Hello and welcome to the Body and Mind Health and Wellness Online Directory members interview with myself, Nirvana Lange. And coming up in today's conversation, I'll be chatting to Colette from Earthbody, and she's going to explain to us what that all means and what they all have to offer. Good morning, Colette. How are you doing?
I'm very well this morning. Thank you very much for asking.
Cool. And getting into who is Colette, we really want to just get a more of a background feel of what is your journey and what do you offer to people and like where did that all start? I think is the main thing.
Okay, I am Colette. I have probably been in this sort of weird and wacky, wonderful alternative side of things ever since I was about 18 or 19. Back then already I studied body alignment under Jeff Levine. And that was just always, I've never not fitted into the outside of the box. In fact, the box is just somewhere I don't want to go at all. So I have gone along a journey that has included a lot of healing work, a lot of Reiki and hand-on massage. I've done a lot of voice channeling. In fact, that used to be a big part of my international client base. Along the way, we've had children. So that's also been a huge growth and spiritual part of the journey, because I think there needs to be a lot more reverence within not just the conscious conception, but then obviously pregnancy and within birth, and actually a deeper understanding of how valuable a safe, harmonious birth is. Now, it doesn't have to be natural necessarily, but it does need to be conscious and aware, because a lot of our traumas that we carry in life are actually imprinted at birth. So that is a big passion of mine, along with child development and how we nurture and raise our children in awareness. And that goes all the way up to the teenagers too. I think they sometimes are too easily branded, oh my God, teenagers. And then we kind of neglect them perhaps a little bit and leave them to their own devices, whereas they could also do with a lot more support. So that's another passion of mine. And then the journey has just always included spiritual journeys overseas, a lot of crystals, a lot of herbs, nutrition, gosh, a little bit of everything. Yeah, so that is me. And then I've kind of come into Earthbody as the general manager, because I've been very privileged. The originator and the founder of Earthbody, Salome Pouroulis, was a long-standing friend of mine. So I've been along the journey with her as she discovered different parts, which we can touch on, just different parts of the Earthbody platform. So I now am able to hold that general manager position and be able to present, be able to share, be able to guide people to the different services that are available, so that they can make use of that work.
That sounds great, and yeah, I'm very keen to get more understanding on what Earthbody is, what the platform is all about, the website, and what you have to offer, and how people can interact with this online platform. So if you can give us a little bit more detail about Earthbody.
Okay, well, straight up, I first started just helping out with the social media. So obviously the Facebook and MeWe, and making use of the video clips and stuff that are already on the website, which I'll touch on it just now. But Earthbody essentially is a massive body of work that was created by Salome when she inadvertently actually discovered the Eye of Horus on the map. Funny enough, in 4 ways, the eye becomes the Eye of Johannesburg. And placing an iridology map, she was able to see that there is this relationship between the body parts of the human body as they are upon Mother Earth's body, hence Earthbody. So like we have the ley lines and all these other planetary grids, you also have a human body system grid on the entire planet, except for the North and South poles, which are grid-free. And if you take those body placements, you can use on the website your specific location. So it could be your home, for instance, Nirvana, or perhaps Body and Mind's work, business offices location, and you can put in a specific location, and using the very, very extensive back end of the website, it will give you a reading based on your specific astrology and also then the location. So the human body part grid is then reading what that location is. So for instance, I live in Plettenberg Bay in the Western Cape, and it is the rib cage of the musculoskeletal system. And so if I had to then look at that body system as let's say a guide or an interpretation, like a body. Okay, so in relation to the musculoskeletal system, I'm then able to look at or get a different perspective on, for instance, my health, perhaps business opportunities, relationships, family. There's all different readings that one can pull on the website. And using that information, I'm then able to look at things like subconscious sabotage patterns, for instance. Being the rib cage, it obviously then is the heart chakra. So one then uses that information as well to interpret components of me based on my birth chart that would then highlight areas that perhaps are challenges and need addressing. So for instance, faulty belief systems. And that different sense of perspective gives me a chance to re-look myself in relation to the world. So as within and so without, and vice versa. And so for instance, whilst living in Plett, my family unit, we have had a gazillion different bone-related things, from broken ankles to falling and hurting one's back, to shoulder surgeries, to spending a lot of time at the chiropractor. So the area, the ground support that Mother Earth has given me in this area has been one to show where there are faults in my ground support, because that is what our skeletal system is. It's core to everything, hangs on the skeletal system. So a really deep foundational level has revealed itself as having little faulty systems. And so then using that, I was able to look at different belief systems, re-look in this example, for instance, my own personal foundations, family, childhood, and so on, and then rework them, take them from a fate of, oh, and work it into a destiny where I'm then able to shift my perspectives, really look at and understand my belief systems pertaining to those specific things, for instance. With the Earthbody grid, all of us within Plett are part of that same body system, i.e. the rib cage. But because we have different astrological placements and we've been born in different places, there will be differences that affect us differently, different houses and so on. So yes, the readings on Earthbody are purchasable, and you can choose them in relation to business, career, wealth, health, subconscious sabotage, family units, partnerships and relationships. So there's a wide variety of things that you can look at. Where it's really beneficial is if, for instance, you are making a move and you are wanting to see the area that you're going to, how supportive is it? Are you kind of perhaps up for all of those challenges? And when I say challenges, it's not to trip us up, and it's not to reveal us as faulty human beings at all. It's to provide us with really different layers, different perspectives, different viewpoints, i.e. that's why it's called the IMAP model, on ourselves. And when we are able to see ourselves differently, then we're able to choose differently, and we're able to progress and yeah, I suppose engage and experience differently.
Transform as well. So let me ask you, if you're looking at Plettenberg Bay, for instance, I mean, there would obviously be different suburbs to Plett, right?
Yes.
So that would also kind of alter the degree, like if you're looking at astrology, I mean, I have a little bit of understanding to astrology. So as an Aries, I know there's different degrees to Aries, right? So that would be the same with the rib cage.
Absolutely.
On that Earth.
So the
I
IMAP
forget the
model,
word now.
yes, on Earthbody.
That's it. That's it. So, so that will be different degrees of effect, because I mean, I'm seeing the rib cage is also protecting the lungs, isn't it? Like it's also the lungs, which are depending on how it, how it affects a person's soul agreement in this journey where they're situated. So it's to understand, for instance, sadness. Why is this the sadness, or why am I having so much loss or so much whatever? If you understand where your grid is within that earth body. Am I correct in
You can see
understanding?
it like that, absolutely. So for instance, I know my daughter's school sits in the lower left lung. So it's still within the rib cage, but in that specific location, it then becomes part of the respiratory system. So
Yes.
when someone goes onto Earthbody, our suggestion is to be as specific as possible. So yes, you can do a reading for Plettenberg Bay, but you can also do a reading for so-and-so, whatever street, literally down to your house number. It uses Google Maps, so it can be that specific, so that you can,
Nice.
that proverbial in go all the way down to the microcosm as much as possible. And yes, that will show you different aspects of yourself. And then the astrology is obviously using the different houses. So for instance, a certain location will affect different members of the house, of that particular home, in accordance to their different house placements. So yeah,
Great.
there's a lot of food for thought, and it definitely is really rich in giving you feedback from Mother Earth. So like we have the proverbial body mind, you've thrown out your left shoulder, therefore it's female issues, blah blah blah. It is feedback mechanism. It's a communication system, except it's coming from Mother Earth. She's using her body to give us information about ourselves. And when we're doing the work, we then in turn are helping her heal, process. And then I would be doing it not just for Colette, I would be doing it in relation to the context of the Plettenberg Bay community, and so on and so forth. And then all the points that link up, the heart chakra, you connecting to Cairo, and so it goes. You can just keep zooming in and zooming out, like the microcosm and macrocosm concept. Yeah.
Sounds amazing. Well, yeah, it sounds absolutely amazing. I love it. I love anything to do with the earth grids and astrology and the body, and how we are also interconnected.
Absolutely.
And it's all just one energy, just and if we can find what our blockages are within where we are. Like, I'm struggling to find a tenant where I am. Like, I really am, since June, struggling to find a tenant. So it would be something that I could go and say, okay, what are the blockages here? What are the things that I am, that's within me that's blocking a tenant to come in? Because that's
absolutely. It might also change your perspective on what you need to look for in that tenant.
Exactly. Very practical. Now, Colette, how can people get hold of you? Your website address, where can they go to discover themselves within this earth body?
Okay, the website address is www.earthbody.co. That's it, just .co. We're on Facebook. Everyone's welcome to email me, collect@earthbody.co. We're on MeWe, we're on Instagram. Those are probably the best and most direct routes. And everyone's, and if anyone visits the site, it does require you just to register, only because it needs to hold that astrological birth time so that they can generate the readings. There are a lot of free readings that you can do that are earth life reflections. So again, looking a bit like as within, so without. You are able to use countries, for instance, to give you a reflection back as to where you're at. So a lot of free stuff. Go visit the website, and then the readings are all listed under a registry, so that you can go and have a check of all the modules that are there. And if anyone comes stuck or has questions, more than welcome to email me.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Colette. And you can go to the Body and Mind website where Colette has signed up as one of our new members, and all the links and contact details you can find on the Body and Mind website. That's bodyandmind.coza. We also have our blog interactive site, which is bodyandmindblog.coza. You can also download the Body and Mind Health and Wellness Directory app on your Apple as well as on your Android Play stores. And we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, ring that little bell so that you can get notifications of our next interview. And please do share this to people that you think can gain benefit out of these amazing conversations and people that we are talking to every day. That's it, Colette. Thank you very much. And
thank you. That was super.
I will get your contact details and we'll be in contact with you. Have a beautiful rest of the day.
And you. Lots of love.
Lots of love. Cheers. Bye.